Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mikhail over here with Merkwares, where we got the Emberlit stove. The Emberlit, it's a wood-burning stove. And whenever you're having to make a real fire with real wood, it's going to take some practice. It's going to take some experience to really get the most out of that. And so I want to take this opportunity to show you some tips and tricks on how to use your Emberlit stove. Ways to make it a little bit easier to cook with, and ways to make your time out here even more enjoyable. Some mornings, it's just cold, it's rainy, I don't want to mess with making a fire. So one of the easiest things you can do is go get these little fuel tabs. This particular model of the Emberlit, the fire ant, comes with a little solid fuel tray. And you just kind of get it going with your lighter. At least in theory. Yeah, there it goes. That's burning. Just set it there. Then grab your pot. I mean, what could be easier? And then, there you go. All done. And that's the easiest way you can use your Emberlit. Again, you can do this with any sort of solid fuel. Alcohol, gel, or whatever, and off you go. But that isn't as cool as burning wood, so let's show you that. For the most part, you're always going to find wood out here in the wilderness, or at least something that'll burn. However, not all fuel is equal. Over here, underneath these trees, we have a lot of dead debris. The problem is they're dry rotted, and most likely they're going to be wet. They've been on the ground so long that there just really isn't a lot of potential left in that wood to cook your food. It'll work if you need it to, but it's going to be smoky and it's not going to be very hot, and really it's just a hassle. Let me show you a much better option. Over here we have a little fir tree, and all along the base of this fir tree we have these wonderful dead snags, these dead branches that are still attached to the tree. It's been raining here for probably every day for the last couple of weeks, these heavy monsoon rains, and despite that, this wood on this tree, look how brittle and dry that is, even on this larger branch. That is ready to go. Beautiful fuel, and they're right here on the back side of the tree, so you have your tinder and you have your main fuel for cooking in your Emberlit stove. It takes me literally just a few seconds, and I can get myself a big handful of these small twigs, and these are perfect for lighting your stove. You just shove a bunch of these down the top, and you get them lit, and they will burn hot and fast, and they will create that bed of coals necessary to keep thicker sticks like this burning with a passion. Now don't worry, this doesn't hurt the tree. These sticks are dead because the tree no longer needs them. They're not, doing anything for it. They're not gathering sunlight. In fact, they're probably a hazard for the tree. If there's ever a wildfire through here, the flame would just run right up these dead branches, and then it would damage the healthy ones in the bark up higher on the tree. So you're actually helping to clean the forest. You're helping to be a good steward by using this for fuel. Lighting the Emberlit is relatively simple. It takes a little bit of preparation. You're going to want to make sure you have some good dry tinder. Now, we packed the stove with some shredded bark, as well as those twigs from the ends of those dead snags, because it's still really wet out here. But that's the whole point. We want to show you some tricks that you can use, especially when it's kind of bad weather and you don't want to go to the Esbit tab or the alcohol. Even though this tinder is fairly moist, a little bit of oxygen, and off it goes. The idea is to get the stove good and hot. You'll want to add your main fuel wood slowly. You don't want to overload the stove right away. Again, we're trying to get it hot so that it can dry. You can drive the moisture out of that fuel and keep burning nice and evenly. It's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, but that's what we want. We want to make sure this thing is good and robust, before we put the pot on it. We got a couple of cups of water in there, so it shouldn't take too long. You see the water from the creek here. Remember to keep an eye on your fuel. You want to wiggle it around, lift the stick up and down to pry off those burnt embers at the very end. While we're messing with it, we have the pot lifted up off the top of the stove to give it all the oxygen that it needs. Very nice. Well, we've had it going for a little bit, and we have a good rolling boil inside this kettle. And we haven't even used up all of that wood that we originally put in it. And so just with a little bit of minding and tending and some firecraft, even with this wood, which is not as good as it could be, we got this stuff boiling in no time. Granted, if it was really nasty weather, then I'd opt for using the alcohol burner or the solid fuel tablet. But there you have it. Again, remember, it is a wood stove. And the fuel that you can find while you're out in the trail is going to vary. So it's going to take some practice and a little bit of experience to get the most out of your Emberlit stove. But that's what's nice about it. That's what's so fun about going camping is learning those skills to really enjoy yourself out here. Actually, that's about ready. What do you think? I shouldn't laugh. He actually kept quiet on camera after burning himself severely with the bale. Bravo! Bravo!